version. And first, I want to say something about what is the GstarCAD Mechanical. So basically, it's a 2D CAD software for the mechanical design and the draftings. It's based on the GstarCAD platform professional version. Which means it contains all the commands or functions in GstarCAD platform professional version. And except that, we also added a lot of professional and practical design tools, mainly aiming at the mechanical design process. So we can understand like that this is the mechanical version is a kind of GstarCAD platform plus the mechanical toolset. I think currently is one of the most powerful mechanical design 2D CAD software in the market. Okay, so let's continue. So just now, I just said it's a kind of GstarCAD platform plus the mechanical toolset. And we can say that it's one of the most powerful and competitive product about mechanical design for 2D software. And besides, there is a very important thing that is GstarCAD Mechanical can fully compatible with AutoCAD Mechanical version. So in the later pages, I will discuss more about this information. So here are some key points about the GstarCAD Mechanical. Okay, the first one is the standard base. So as we know that in the mechanical design, the designers or the draftsmen usually have to complete their drawings based on the international standards like DIN, like ISO, like GS. In a different area, there will be the different standards. So in GstarCAD Mechanical version, we are comply with the different drawing standards here, and so the users and the designers can hold and import standards very easily with just several clicks. This is the first point. And the second point is not only the standards. Usually for the users, when they need to complete the mechanical design, they have to use customizable template, title block, and part list and library. And in GstarCAD Mechanical, we also open for the interface, so the users can easily do the customization in this version. So it's a more flexible version compared with the GstarCAD platform. A third one is the efficiency. Just now, I had mentioned that in GstarCAD Mechanical version, we have added a lot of intelligent tools about the mechanical design. So in the second part about the demonstration, I will show you a part of the tools, and so maybe you can make a more clearly idea about this functions. And the next one is the integration. So the drawing data from the GstarCAD Mechanical version, and it can be exchanged with the PRM systems. This is very important for the mechanical design. So this is also one of the advantages for mechanical version compared with the other CAD software. And the last one is also still the compatibility. So we are compatible with the AutoCAD Mechanical. So before we go through the details, first, I want to emphasize again about the compatibility. Like I always would like to say that the compatibility is one of the most important key factor for the alternative solution, alternative CAD software, because when a user or when our potential users is going to switch from their original solution to a new one, commonly they will think about whether the new software can satisfy my needs, and whether the drawing data can reuse in the new software, and whether I need to change my design habit, or whether I need to use a lot of time to relearn a new software. So commonly, the compatibility is one of the most important parts during the decision process. And the same as the GstarCAD platform version. So GstarCAD Mechanical is also compatible with the AutoCAD Mechanical version. But there is a difference. For GstarCAD platform version, we still have some competitors can do the same things, like the IntelliCAD, like the BracesCAD. They're also compatible with the AutoCAD platform version. But for mechanical version, GstarCAD Mechanical is the only CAD software in the world which is compatible with the AutoCAD Mechanical. So which means if we consider about the compatibility fields, GstarCAD Mechanical has a unique advantage. And as far as I know, in the Japan market, we have sold thousands of licenses of the GstarCAD Mechanical version, or maybe even more. And most of these customers choose GstarCAD Mechanical because we are compatible with the AutoCAD Mechanical, and they are used to the AutoCAD Mechanical users. So this is the things I want to emphasize again about the compatibility. And the second part I want to say about the standard drafting environment. And in the previous pages, I have said that commonly the designers for the mechanical design, they have to complete their drawings based on the international standards. So in GstarCAD Mechanical, we have a preset package about the standards, included many standards in different area like GB, like ISO, like DIN, like GIS. And so the users can load this kind of preset standards very easily with just several clicks. And also we know that in some company, especially for the big companies for manufacturing, they have their own standard, their company standard. So here we open the interface and we let users to customize their company standards or load or import their previous template files into GstarCAD Mechanical. So combined with this kind of two function group, we can make the working environment more conveniently, and they can complete their drawings, they can complete their design so more quickly and more smoothly. So this is the second part about the standard drafting environment. Okay, the third part is the customizable. Not only the standard, we can do a lot of customization things in the GstarCAD Mechanical version, like the drawing title block, like the part list, like the symbol library, like the standard part, like the templates. And later in my demonstration, you will find parts of the customization functions. So we can see that the GstarCAD Mechanical version is more flexible compared with other 2D softwares, including GstarCAD platform. So this is one of the advantage for the GstarCAD Mechanical versions. Okay, the next part is about the efficient design tools. As I said before, we have a lot of unique mechanical design tools in this version. So these tools are mainly aiming at the mechanical design and the mechanical drafting. So in the next few pages or next maybe 20 minutes, I will use some very small and very simple example to show just part of the features. And I hope with this kind of demonstration, you can get a more clearly idea about this software. Okay, so next part, let's switch to the software interface. Okay, totally. I have prepared for 5 parts of this demonstration. So I will present it one by one. And the first one is about the hose. As we know, the hose is a very basic component in the mechanical design process. And we can find the hose symbols in the mechanical drawings everywhere. So the first part is about creating, editing the hose, and also to insert a hole chart. So here we can see some normal circles. And the first step is we want to change it from the circles to the holes. And so the first step is we're going to edit some center-line cross for this hole, for the circles, and make it as a regular holes. So here is a command called centerline, and we just click that, and we can find the center-line cross in holes. We choose this option, and then we select the circles we want. Now completed. So it's very conveniently, and compare with the GstarCAD platform. If we do the same operation in the platform, maybe we need to create the cross one by one and to make it as a regular holes. But in the mechanical, we can do this at once. Okay, next, I want to make a polar area holes over this cross. And so it's also find the cross center line. And here there's another function called center line cross on full circle. And we just load this command and follow the tips. And then we can generate the 8 holes as a polar area at the same time. So it's also very easily. And next, there are still many ways to create the holes. Like we can create 4 holes at the corner of this palette. And we choose centralized cross on palette. And we select palette and complete it. So this is very simple operation, and we can create similar components of the mechanical design with this way. So this is just an example, and this example about the holes. And next, I want to show some operations about insert a hole chart. So let's switch to the annotation part. And then there is a command called hole chart. We just click on that. And first find an inserting point. Give it a name. And then we just need to select the holes we want. And then the chart completed. And in the chart, you can find the geometric coordinates of all the circles here. And also we can get the polar coordinates with the same command. We just need to choose the polar option. Sorry. Sorry, there's something wrong. Find the inserting point. Angle, give it a name, and select the holes. Okay, there's another chart about the polar value here, and we can see check difference. And here there is things I want to emphasize about this chart, because actually this function is an automatic and parametric function. So which means if we change the holes, or we move the holes here, the value will be changed automatically. And like we move it again, you will find the things changes. And also, if we want to edit a new holes into the chart, it's very easily. Like we can create a new hole. And then what we need to do is just double click on it. And then here is a button about edit holes. And we can select a new one. And then you will find that the item changes from the 6 to 7. There's a new one here. And then the new items appear in the whole chart. And also we can change the style of the chart. So like we can just load the whole table, but not the coordinate. So this is a very simple example about holes and the whole chart. So in the mechanical design, we can see that there will be a lot of other components, and we can do the design other components with the same process. So this is the first example about some basic drawing tools. And the second one is the dimension. So in GstarCAD Mechanical version, we have a more powerful and more strong dimension tools. So mainly designed for the mechanical users. And there will be later I will show you the difference between the mechanical version and the platform version. So you'll find it is more powerful than the platform ones. So still we switch to the annotation tab. And we can begin with some very regular used dimensions like the vertical dimension. And we can choose 2 points. And you will find a difference. In GstarCAD platform version, you have to start the command and do it again and repeat again. But in the mechanical version, you can do the dimension continually. And also there will be there is a detailed things about the overdrawn. If in the GstarCAD platform version, if you have done the overdrawn operation, there won't be any tips. But in GstarCAD Mechanical version, if you do the overdrawn, there will be a tips window here and ask you to do the right operation. Like you can choose replace, break up, move away, or you can cancel it. And after you select it, you will find that the everything adjusts automatically. And also in GstarCAD Mechanical version, we can create multiple dimensions at the same time. And you will find that we can create the multiple dimensions with the multiple dimension commands. And also, if you think part of the dimensions is useless, and we can delete it as normal ways, like just select them, just select it, just delete it. And also we have provide some small tools, like if you want to adjust the gap between these 4 dimensions, and there is a command called arrange dimension, and just click on it and select dimensions, choose base point, and then you will find that the dimensions has been adjusted automatically. And this is about creating the dimensions. We have many conveniently tools in the GstarCAD Mechanical. And besides, we also have the smart tools to change or adjust the representation of the dimension text. Like we can do the power dimension here, and we can select it. Then there will be a new window pops up, and in this window we can change the representation of the text here. Like can do like this, you'll find the difference, and double click on it will be cancel it. And then also you can apply these properties to other dimensions, like this way. So you can modify the multiple dimensions at once. And also we can edit text and symbols in the dimension text, like here. And also we can edit the tolerance. Yeah, and we can try to apply to others. So it's very easily to do the mechanical dimension in this professional versions. And all the features I just show you is the unique tools in GstarCAD Mechanical version, not in the platform, not in others. So this is the second part about the dimension tools. It's very basic, but it's also very frequently used by our users. And this is the second example. And the third one is about some professional mechanical symbols and professional functions, which is get very good feedback from our real users. So I will start from a very small command. We call it chamfer. As we know, the chamfer is a very basic function in the CAD software, no matter in the platform or in the mechanical version. But in this software, there will be a little bit different for this command. After we click the chamfer command, and we'll find that there is a new window here. And previously, you have to click on the first line, the second line, and then you input the lines, the circle. This is normal ways, but in the mechanical version, you can do all these things with this window. Like we can directly input the value here. And we can also insert a dimension about the chamfer directly. And we even can change the dimension representation, like maybe we change like this. And then we do this. And here we'll find the dimension. And then it directly appears here. And if you want to adjust it, just double click on it. And 5. Okay. Like this. And you will find that the dimension and the geometric have changed automatically together. And also in a window, we can find a library here. So which means if this value of the chamfer is the most frequently used in your design process, you can edit it into your template. into your own library and give it a name. And after that, you can reuse it in all of your drawings. You don't need to input the value again and again. So this is the customization of the library I have mentioned in the presentation. And actually, in many parts of the GstarCAD Mechanical commands, we can do this kind of customization, this kind of template with the same way. Okay, this is about the chamfer, a very small but a very useful tool. And the second command I want to show you is, I think is very interesting. We call it a detail. This is the detail command. We click on it and then we choose the area here. And then here we can input the factor, and the default one is 2. We just keep it. And then you will find this area has been scaled, and you can choose another area to show it, to show the details of the specific area. So this is a very commonly used design skills in the mechanical design process. And also this this function is a parametric function. We can do some tests, like if we added some hatch for this area, and we double click on the scaled ones, and then you will find that the hatch area has been updated to the new to the bigger ones. And also we can try to do a dimension here. You find, although it looks different, this one is bigger and this one is smaller, but the distance here, the value is the same. So it's not a kind of the real scaled area. It's a kind of magnifier, actually. So just to show the details more clearly. So this is a very common skill during the mechanical design, and we just put it into our software. And we have get many positive feedback about these functions. And this is the second one. And next one, I think, is the most frequently used function during the design process, is the title block. So every time when you want to export, no matter a component or a whole machine, you have to add a title block for your design. So here we can just insert a title block with just several clicks. It's very convenient and easily. And here you can choose many options, and you can choose the title block, you can choose the paper format, and then you can choose the scale. Then complete it. And in the GstarCAD platform, if you want to insert this kind of the title block, maybe you need to create a block first and then insert it into your tool palette and then reload it again. And it's hard to modify or change it. So it's just a fixed template. But in GstarCAD Mechanical, and you can load and create it very conveniently. And also, if you want to modify the information here, just need to double click on it. And then you can change the info, you can modify the information like something like this. And it will update to the title block automatically. So this is the most reusable commands or functions in the GstarCAD Mechanical version. So next, I will show you some special symbols, professional symbols in the mechanical version. So this is also very important features for this software, because during the mechanical design, always they need to insert a lot of professional and standard symbols to show like the tolerance, the roughness, some key factors of the machine, of the design. In the other software, maybe you need to create it by yourself and you need to create one by one. So it will waste a lot of time. But in GstarCAD Mechanical, we have preset a series of the professional symbols here. Yeah, all of them is here. And I will just pick part of them and to let you know how it works. The first one, maybe the slope. And here there's another windows here, and you can change the value like 1.4. Also, you can change the symbols like here. So it's a kind of the parametric symbol. So it's not just a block. You can change all the elements, all the components here. And this is the slope. And if you want to edit it, just double click on it. And then you can change the text, change the value directly. And second one, I want to show you about maybe the roughness here. And we can choose a value here. So you don't need to input the value by yourself. We have the preset numbers here. And after that, a roughness symbol has been created. So it's very quickly. And also, if you think this value is the most useful or most frequently ones for your design, you could add it into your libraries and give it a name and load it into your palette. So you can use this value anywhere you want. So this is the roughness value. And the next one, maybe, I think maybe this one, the data automated filter. So it's a very easily, you can give it a yeah. Actually, all the symbols here has the similar operations. We just need several clicks and we can complete a very complicable symbols here. So that's can save a lot of time for the mechanical design, and maybe we can do a more complicated things. And here we can change the symbols, and we can edit the content. And we can even add it into the library. So with this kind of the professional symbols, and we have got a lot of positive feedback from our users, because it's really the most useful ones in the CAD software. So this part is about the reusable small tools and the professional symbols. Okay, the last one. So previously, small examples is all about creating or editing the components. And in the last part, I want to show something about the assembly process. So this example, I will show you the BOM and the part list. So it's also one of the most important process in the mechanical design. So first, let's begin with create a new part reference. So it's very easily, there is a command here called part reference. You just click it and select the objects here, and then will be a part reference window. And we just need to fill up the information like and give it a standard, like for example, a fake one and something like this. And after that, part reference has been created here. And after you have completed or created all the part reference, you need to show in the part list, and then we can check them in the BOM database. Here you can see all the reference you have just created before, and all the information will list it in the part list later. And you can edit any items here or just delete it, or maybe added a new one. So you can modify and keep the information here for your later part list. And after you confirm all the information, and the next step is we can edit or generate the balloons for the part list. So here is the command. And after you start this command, you'll find that all the items has been remarked by the software automatically. You just need to select them and then place the balloons. And then this step has been completed. And the last step is create a real part list. And we can click the function, and then now the information appear again, and all of them are generated from the database, the BOM database. And then the whole part list operation is done. And here are some small tips, like if we want to reorder the number of the balloons, and here we provide a very small functions called renumber balloons, and we just click on it, and then we can click this one by one, then the number will be changed, and you could choose which one is the first number and which one is the last number. You can control the whole order of these balloons. Yeah, something like this. And also we can do the same things for part list as the item number. Just double click on it. And here is here is function called sort, and then we can change the items here. You will find the item numbers are changed to the right ones. So basically, this is all the things, all the operations I want to show you today. So I just pick very small and very easily examples to show part of these functions. And I hope that this can make you get a more clearly idea about this software. So basically, GstarCAD Mechanical version is a kind of professional tool set, which is aiming at the mechanical design and the mechanical drafting. So we added a lot of small tools for the also the libraries, like here. We have the libraries. And you can choose the different components. And this is all the preset components we have created by our developers, and you can choose any of them, and then you can insert to your drawings.
Mm-hmm.
So all of this is designed for the mechanical users, and we hope that with these professional tools, we can save the time and make the design more easily and smoothly. So this is all the things I want to show you today. And maybe in the following time, we can discuss something about the software. And if you have questions, and we can discuss with William and Mr. Lu, and we hope we can give you a better idea about this product.